Hello everyone, welcome to the GPBL Pokemon Draft League. My name is MuddyKipz, and I am entering a Pokemon Draft League similar to the GBA and the UCL. My team is the Orlando City Linoones, and we will be playing in this league and having some fun and looking to win. Some quick draft rules if you don't know. You draft a certain amount of mons, in this case we're doing 12 Pokemon, onto a team, and every week you face a different opponent who's also drafted, and you can only use those 12 Pokemon, but you can use them in any set you want, excluding a Mega, which can only be Mega. But you can switch its movesets around. How the drafting worked specifically was we had 3 picks in OU, UU, RU, and NU in that order, and one of those picks could be your Mega pick. And it went in a snake-like movement, so the first person with the first pick is going to be last person of the second pick, but they'll have the first pick of the third pick. So let's say, in this draft I got the last pick. I was 10th out of all 10 players, so though the first round I'd only have one pick at the end, the second round I'd have the first pick, and then I'd have to wait till the next round to be the last pick. So that's how that works. So I'm going to go into a little analysis of my draft pick and just discuss how I was feeling going into it, some of the sets I was thinking of doing, and my overall thought process throughout the draft. So going into it, first thing I wanted was a fire, water, grass core, and I thought no better of a water type than StarMe, my first pick. StarMe is a water psychic type with 60 HP, 75 attack, 85 defense, 100 special attack, 85 special defense, and 115 speed. StarMe is a somewhat bulky water type, pretty bulky water type, with recovery and rapid spin, so we can get rid of hazards and stay in. But he's also very fast and does quite a bit of damage, so he can kind of do whatever it wants. He or she, or I think it's an it. It can do whatever it wants, basically. I can make it do choice specs, I can make it do choice scarf, but I really doubt I'd be doing that. Assault vest, leftovers, life orb. It can do whatever it wants, and it's going to be hard to prepare for the other team. And my only struggle is going to be preparing with it. It's the first step to my fire, water, grass core, and it would also go into my next pick, but I'll get in that in a second. StarMe is a personal favorite of mine. It's a fun Pokemon to use, has a really cool design, and I see us having some successes because of it. Our next pick to coincide with StarMe is Heatran. Heatran is a Fire Steel type, which has 91 HP, 90 attack, 106 defense, 130 special attack, 106 defense, and 70 speed. Heatran was a Pokemon I thought of as soon as I was looking at Pokemon to pick for the draft. It was, okay, pick up StarMe, pick up Heatran. Those two are going to work together with another Pokemon, whatever I decide to choose, because of their differences. They really cover each other pretty well. StarMe covers the fighting weakness of Heatran, and Heatran covers the grass weakness and the bug weakness of StarMe, and there's probably a couple of other things in there that I'm forgetting, but those coverages, it works out well together. They work out well together. Heatran overall is very diverse in what it can do. The only stat under 90 is speed, but it's still relatively high, and everything else is really good. So you could see me running max attack, maybe choice band, choice scarf. You could see me running max special attack, maybe split defenses, mainly defensive. I can set up stealth rock so I can get hazards up there. And it also fits into a Dragon Fairy Steel core that I'm going to work on later. And I'm going to go into the draft after Heatran, forgetting about that. So I'll still be looking for another Steel type. But I'm kind of glad for that, because it allows me to switch in and out with Heatran, the other Pokemon, later, if I ever want to switch them out. Or I could have them on the same team, which wouldn't be as much of a problem, because Heatran is parts fire type, so he doesn't have to worry as much about fire type moves hitting him, especially since I'm pretty sure he gets flash fire. So he's kind of got his bases covered. Only problem is ground types, which I'm going to have to cover in a little bit. The next pick, we'll cover it a little bit. So after this, I wait almost 2 rounds to get to the last draft pick of the 3rd round, and the last OU pick, which is going to be Celebi. Celebi is a Psychic Grass type and is one of the Pixie Pokemon, which has 100 in all of its stats. And this Pokemon is really good. I could have probably waited to get Shaman and UU, but I think Celebi just has way more options in terms of moves. It has Natural Cure. Natural Cure, when you switch out, it removes its status. So that can be really helpful if it gets burned, or toxic, or even paralyzed. Whatever happens, I can just switch out. It finishes off the Fire, Water, Grass core, and it can do a lot of things. But I say a main concern of mine is getting it stuck as being a cleric, and I'm gonna work throughout the draft to try and alleviate it of it, so it can do a lot more things. Maybe if it wants to set up, or if it just wants to go full out attack. I wanted to leave Celebi a bit more open to its choices, because it's a very versatile Pokemon, given the option to. It's just how do I go into battle thinking about that. I was on the fence with getting Talonflame instead of Celebi, for the sole fact that I was thinking of getting more of a wall breaker, but I was thinking of just going further into the draft and looking into other Pokemon lower that could do a similar job. One problem I'm going to have with the draft is priority. I'm going to have a few fast Pokemon, but not as much priority going into it. So right after this, I'll have the first pick of the UU draft, which I got Zapdos. Zapdos has 90 HP, 90 attack, 85 defense, 125 special attack, 90 special defense, and 100 speed. Zapdos I am putting up as our captain of the Linoones because I really like Zapdos. Zapdos has really good stats, but they're not like Celebi's where they're all rounded. There's stats that are way better. Well, quotes way better. The quotes that are they're better, but the other stats are still really good. I feel like he's a bit more all-around than Celebi is, despite the fact that Celebi has way more moves and its stats are, again, well-rounded. But Zapdos is like, he can really do something very powerful with that special attack. But if he needs to, he can also be bulky. It's not as much bulk, but with its typing, it's still really good bulk. It has Volt Switch. Volt Switch is very fun to get out. It can either do it really fast or it can be really slow. It has a lot of bulk, but it's still really fast, so it can, it can definitely take hits. It has Roost and Defog if I need it, if I'm not bringing StarMe a week and I need to get rid of rocks. It's there. And it avoids earthquakes, which I'm very happy for, so Heatran doesn't have to worry about them constantly being thrown everywhere. And Zapdos can kind of just step in front of it and then just walk away from it. Anything else about Zapdos? Zapdos' electric flying type is very unique to itself, and that's in Emolga. And I didn't draft Emolga because I already got Zapdos, but Zapdos is very good, and I was kind of surprised when it was first moved down to UU, but it's really good. So that's why I picked Zapdos. It's a really good Pokemon in a lower tier that I could pick up that's pretty much an OU Pokemon. And it has a lot of opportunities to move around with the team and can do a ton of things for it. Now, I'm going to have to wait again, almost 2 rounds, and I'm going to pick Nidoking for my 5th pick. It's a Poison Ground type with 81 HP, 102 attack, 77 defense, 85 special attack, 75 special defense, and 85 speed. Nidoking, looking at its stats, are a bit lower than Zapdos's are, but it's still very powerful in its own right and has a really good HP stat as well. 81's pretty good. It can run a bit more of a mixed. Zapdos doesn't have as much of a physical attack spread than Nidoking does. Nidoking has a lot of moves like it can get Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Earthquake. I think it gets Poison Jab to cover its stabs, and it has a bunch of other moves that coincide with it. It gets Stealth Rocks, which is very good. It gets Sheer Force. Sheer Force to help do extra damage with moves like Sludge Wave. Stealth Rocks, going back on that, helps alleviate Heatran from having to be the rock setter. If I want to bring rocks, I can also bring Nidoking in to help alleviate that. Its typing overall is very offensive, helps cover fairy types, and it can help cover steel types at the same time. And yeah, it has some pretty good moves revolving its head and running into things, which can definitely hurt people. And I might run Choice Scarf a few days, maybe try that, you know, see how that works. I mean, nothing revolving heads and smashing into things, but, you know, maybe I'll use Mega Horn. That's a pretty good move. It's a very powerful move. Or I could just use Head Smash. Am I right? Am I right? Next pick is going to be my Mega pick, which is Mega Ampharos. Mega Ampharos, I was debating on getting, because I was like, I didn't want to go too far down to the draft and wait for a Mega. I could have gotten Mega Dino, but I really didn't want it. I was already looking at other fairies, and since it has to Mega Evolve before becoming a fairy type, I didn't really like it as much. You can say, well, Mega Ampharos has to Mega Evolve to get to a Dragon type. I don't feel like it's that different, because when it Mega Evolves, it gets that bulk, but it's super powerful with Mold Breaker. And I think because it's not a permanent Dragon type, it's not plagued with being affected by Ice types right off the bat. So if I send it in and I need to switch it out, I don't have to Mega Evolve quite yet. That was really stupid to say, but I was thinking I could either wait or I can just draft Mega Ampharos now. And Mega Ampharos is bulky, really bulky. But I was also thinking of getting Mega Sceptile. Mega Sceptile is really fast, while Mega Ampharos is really slow. They both have really high special attack stats, but my main difference was Mega Ampharos has a bit better moveset. It can do a little bit more. I like the more setup it can do, especially since it's more bulky. Zapdos is a bit more fast than it. Yeah, it's a bit faster. So Mega Ampharos can just kind of put the brakes on a bit. It could be a problem with moving around since it's so slow, but I feel like if I wanted to run it a bit bulkier team, this thing can definitely just stand there, set up a Cotton Guard or two, and just launch nukes on everything. Another reason I like this is I'm not going to have to bring it every week, especially since because it's so slow, I might not bring it every week. I won't always want to set up a Mon, or I might want to set up another one that might be a bit better. So I don't feel as chained to it as I would with another Mega. And what else? It has high special attack. 165 is nothing to laugh at. It has a lot of setup opportunities. You can do Sub, Calm Mind, Cotton Guard. It has Mold Breaker, and it starts up that Dragon Fairy Steel Core, which I'll be looking into with the next two picks. So after this, wait a few more, almost 2 rounds, and we're going to pick up our Fairy type, Aromatisse. Aromatisse, I haven't really used that much, but it's to fill more of a Cleric role in place of Celebi. If I don't want Celebi to do that week, do Cleric that week, I can send in Aromatisse. Or if I want to do Cleric for it, but I still want to bring Aromatisse because there's a Dragon, I can send in Aromatisse as a sub and Calm Mind. And one good thing that helps it be a Cleric is Aroma Veil, because I believe what it does is it prevents Pokemon from using moves that'll prevent it from using attacks, which I think means it won't stop it from using Wish, but I'll have to check on that. But this kind of allows Celebi to have a bit more breathing room. It still has 99 special attack and 101 HP, which is pretty good. Its defenses are pretty good, 89 special defense and 72 defense. It's still pretty bulky, so it can definitely take a hit. And throughout the season, I'll probably be experimenting with it, trying to see what I can do with it. And if not, I can always put it up for a draft and place up another one if I want to. But I think Aromatisse will probably be staying on the team for the sole fact it's a fairy. Stopping Dragon types would be really good. Now we get into this next pick, and I had a lot of trouble with this pick. This pick is Durant. Originally it was going to be Aggron, but Aggron is technically UU because of Mega Aggron. And then it was going to be Registeel right after that, but someone already had Registeel. So I decided to quickly pick Durant. Durant has 58 HP, 109 attack, 112 defense, 48 special attack, 48 defense, special defense, and 109 speed. It is a Bug Steel type. This finishes out that Dragon Fairy Steel core that I was thinking about. It's a very fast Pokemon, which I was definitely looking into later in the draft. And, 109 attack, 109 speed. But it's still a little bit bulky with that defense. 112, though it only has 58 HP, it's still 112 defense. It's very good. I was definitely looking for speed and power. It also has hustle as an ability. Though it lowers its accuracy, it'll greatly increase its damage, which I'm very looking into. And so I could put this thing as choice band, and I'd be doing a ton of damage as long as I don't miss. It also has swarm if I want to make sure I don't miss, but I'll probably be running hustle a bit more often. Another thing it can do is quick baton pass. Because of how fast it is, it outspeeds a lot of the metagame. I could send it in, and if I'm not feeling confident about switching out right off the bat, and I could pack baton pass, so I could always scout out for, okay, are they going to switch this out because I threw out its threat, or are they going to stay in? Because that allows me to move around if I need to. It doesn't have that much of a that big of a move set, but with the move set it does have, it has superpower, an X scissor. It's still very powerful, especially with its stabs. So don't count Durant out. It'll probably do some great work on the field. Ninth pick, after waiting almost 2 rounds, I got Delphox. Delphox, the fire psychic type, with 75 HP, 69 attack, 72 defense, 114 special attack, 100 special defense, and 104 speed. He or she is my special attacker, my super fast special attacker. Though I have StarMe. StarMe is one that I'm probably going to use a bit more for bulk. Delphox is a little bit faster with 104, so it's outspeeding 100s and 101s, which would include StarMe, but I have it. With it, I definitely plan to be a bit more offensive. I mean, it has a really offensive, especially offensive type with fire and psychic. I mean, you have stab flamethrower, stab psychics, and stab Psyshocks. That's a lot of damage going around, and with Psyshock, it'll affect them physically, so it can definitely dish out damage. With its 104 speed, I don't have to run it Scarfed. I can run it Specs or Life Orb, and it'll still do a ton of damage. I don't even have to run anything at all, and I have Magician, and I can just steal someone else's item if I need to, which could be a great hindrance on Pokemon maybe that might be using Eviolite, and that would be really helpful for that. It has some pretty good special defense, so if I need to, I can run it bulky. I doubt I'll be doing that, but it's definitely an option that I could bring, and opponents might not prepare for that, so it's something that's there that I could definitely catch someone off guard with. I'm also going to get the 10th pick, which will be the beginning of the NU draft. NU draft start will be Miltank. Miltank is a normal type with 95 HP, 80 attack, 105 defense, 40 special attack, 70 special defense, and 100 speed. Miltank was a Pokemon that I saw, and I was just like, I want that one. First pick. I need that. I don't want anyone else taking it. Miltank has so many things it can do. It kind of feels like a physical version of StarMe. It's similar to Durant, but Durant is definitely going to be more physical. Miltank, looking at its stats, it has really high HP and really high defense, an alright special defense stat, a pretty good attack stat, and a pretty good special defense stat. So this thing can be either mainly defensive with its high HP and defense, with Milk Drink for recovery. It can be a tank with its pretty decent attack stat and still really good HP and speed. And it could be a fast attacker with its 100 speed. Though it wouldn't outspeed everything, I definitely had to put a bit more in attacks to make sure it could stand a bit more a chance. With Scrappy, there would be almost nothing in the way of the stab normal type moves like Body Slam or Return, except for maybe like Rock or Steel types, which it also gets a fighting move, I believe Superpower. It just won't be Stab. That's another really good thing about Miltank is its abilities. Sap Sipper, Scrappy, and Thick Fat. Sap Sipper probably won't be used as often because of my multiple coverages for grass type moves, but it's definitely there. Scrappy for ghost types, and Thick Fat for more of a tank purpose instead of for an attacking purpose. I mean, having a damage reduction and fire type moves and ice type moves is always something I want. It was something I was a bit more focused on because I felt like I had an ice weakness in the middle of the draft. Overall, I'm really happy about the Miltank pick, and I think it's going to do really well this season. I had two last draft picks, and I was determining what Pokemon I should get. I wanted to get Scyther, and I wanted to get Kecleon. with either one of them being interchangeable as I see fit. Both of them got picked before my last turn, so I couldn't get them. So instead, my 11th pick in the draft was Linoone. Linoone has an HP stat of 70, 60 in attack, 75 in defense, 110 special attack, 75 special defense, and 90 speed. It's a grass type only, so it doesn't have to worry about as much stuff like Bulbasaur does. It's just plain grass. Not as much. It doesn't have as many stab moves, but its plain grass typing is very rare. Not that rare. I'm giving Linoone a bit too much credit, but it's a Pokemon I picked because it helps Celebi a bit more. Celebi doesn't have to be brought every week, and Linoone can definitely take it over. It's a slower but stronger version of Celebi, as I put there. It's only base speed 90, but it's still really pretty fast, and it has a special attack stat of 110. My main goal with it is to set up Quiver Dance and then use Petal Blizzard. Maybe get it in on a good switch, where I'd force, maybe it's like on a water type, I could force it to switch out. Or maybe if it's on a Jolteon, it would Volt switch out. I could do that, which is, I think, one step up. I mean, that's a plus 1.5 to special attack, special defense, and speed. So it'd be outspeeding a lot of Pokemon. So it'd be, and I could put like a Life Orb on it or something. It also gets access to Chlorophyll and Leaf Guard. Mainly Chlorophyll I'm interested in, because if I wanted to, I could definitely bring Celebi or just Heatran to set up the Sunny Day, and then Linoone could go to town. And since there's a lot of Pokemon that can also benefit from it on my team, it could definitely put in some work through Sunny Day, manually set up. So overall, Linoone is a questionable pick if I can see it from the eyes of others, but I think it'll still do something. I'll definitely bring it to a few games. My last pick of the draft, which came right after this pick, was Zangoose. After Scyther was taken, I was looking for another physical attacker, because Scyther was really good because it had Eviolite and could have an attack stat that's really high, and then have really good defenses to boot. Zangoose doesn't have any defenses to speak of, but its attack stat and speed with its ability is really good. Zangoose is a normal type with 73 HP, 115 attack, 60 defense, special attack, and special defense, and 90 speed. And its ability, Toxic Boost. Okay, so it's really cool because it goes into its backstory, and it's really cool with Seviper. But besides that, Toxic Boost allows it to have a speed increase of 1.5 when it's poisoned. So that 90 speed is now given a Choice Scarf without the need of a Choice Scarf. It would just need a Toxic Orb, or I could not even put the Toxic Orb on there and hope I get poisoned. With that, I can do a lot of things. One, Facade is going to be super powerful, be able to move really fast with that base 115 attack and the speed boost. So that'll be 140 base attack with the 115 actual base attack of the Zangoose, and then a 1.5 boost on the normal stab. That's going to do a ton of damage that not a lot of people are going to want to stand in front of. It could also do Sub-Swords, if I wanted to, or Home Claws. It also gets Home Claws, I believe. Or I can also use it for knockoff, which is, I believe, one of the few Pokemon that has it. I think Miltank might have it as well. And with that, I feel like this was a worth pick, especially the last pick of the draft for myself. And I'm glad that I'm the one that got it, because I would not want to go up against it. Sucker Punch, depending on what's giving it, could probably take it out with ease. But I mean, if they don't prepare for Zangoose, it will run a train through them. And with that, that is the last pick of the draft, and that is your Orlando City Linoones. I really like how the draft went out. I got sniped a few times with near the end there. I sniped myself with missing out on Aggron, but I'm still glad I got Nidoking. Nidoking is going to be a very good Pokemon to use with Head Smash and special attack moves. It's probably a bit better of a pick, if anything, so I could get Durant instead. But overall, if there's one pick I could probably switch, is maybe where I got my Mega. Maybe if I got a different Mega. What else? I remember something at the beginning that I don't exactly remember. I don't know, if I remember it, I'll probably talk about it in the first game if it's something seriously pressing. But I mean, I guess I don't have as much turn. I don't have as much turning because I think Celebi gets U-turn. Zapdos gets Volt Switch, but I think those are the only Pokemon on the team that has that. So I might be a little bit limited on that, so I won't have to work as much on that. But overall, I'm really happy about how the team turned out, and I hope you guys are ready for the matches, which I think will start this next week. So I will see everyone then. If you're rooting for me, good, awesome. If you're not, that's perfectly understandable. But I'm still gonna try my hardest to beat that team that you're rooting for. And if you're not rooting for any team, I don't know. But that's it. I'll see everyone later. Bye bye.